Hello, lovely people. Welcome to our weekly reading for the week of the 15th of July. I hope you're all well. I hope you've all had a really good week. And I hope you're looking forward to seeing what the cards have to tell us this week. I know I certainly am. Let's have a look and see. Okay, let's see. So we have the Queen of Swords. And we have the Eight of Swords. And we have the Page of Pentacles. Okay, so we have two court cards here, which is quite interesting because court cards are generally speaking, well, basically court cards are aspects of yourself, or they can be people, someone that's close to you that is involved with you in some way or affecting your life in some way, or maybe somebody quite close by that could be your mentor. So we'll have to have a look and look at the three cards together to kind of see what's what. And of course, for different people, it may be different things. So let's see how it resonates with you. So the Queen of Swords is a very quick thinker. The Queen of Swords is organized, she's perceptive, and she just cuts through any sort of confusion to arrive at the truth, or at least to arrive at the essence of a person or a situation. So she's very, very clear thinking. There's no messing around with the Queen of Swords. However, she is very compassionate in her judgments, and the Queen of Swords will always allow for, say, human nature or maybe unresolved emotional issues when considering people's motivations for acting in the way that they are acting. So if somebody is acting out of turn, then, the Queen of Swords is somebody that will take into consideration what's going on in their life, what's happening, what's causing them, or what's possibly causing them to act in a certain way. And it's really important that all of us use this aspect of the Queen of Swords in our own individual lives, because it's so easy to have to make judgment on others without actually, looking beyond what's there to what might have caused that. And so what the Queen of Swords does is she symbolizes the bringing of order into, to chaos. So when there's chaos around, she's going to sort the wood out from the trees, because she's going to do this through clarity, because she's got great clarity of thought, and through setting boundaries. So this queen, she does not apologize for her rights or her existence. She'll very much stand up to bullies and to societal pressures. She will question rules that don't make logical sense. So she's definitely not submissive or docile, and most definitely not objectified, and not to be objectified. I think there's lots and lots to love about this queen. I love that the whole idea of clarity and boundaries and not apologizing for who you are, and also not bowing to societal pressures. I just think that's so important, and particularly for women, because this queen, she's too powerful to be minimized by mindless societal roles, and a lot of societal roles are mindless. And she will use her sword to cut through the hypocrisy of how she's supposed to act, how she should act. So this queen takes no shit from anybody, and this is what I love about her. She won't sell herself short, and she places very strong boundaries and is master of transforming that the energy from victimhood to being victorious. And gosh, so I can look all around me and see where there's people that could well do with that energy to step out of that sense of being a victim into being victorious. No matter really what your circumstances are, that is a choice. Do you want to be a victim to it, or do you want to be victorious? And that is a mindset. And the swords is very much about mind. It's very much about mind over matter. It's all about your thoughts and perceptions and things like that. So she really does command respect because she respects herself first. And to respect herself first then gives her the space then to respect others, but it will also give others the space to respect her. And she's somebody that rules with her intellect and her words. So when this card now has come up, you might want to just have a little look at your life and see, do you need to be more self-disciplined in your life? Do you need to create more boundaries? And it's a really great reminder to tell you not to worry about being liked, that this card is very much about being authentic and aligning with what's right for you. So, lovely card. Love the Queen of Swords. And then we move on to the Eight of Swords, which is another mind card, mind and thoughts and things like that. And this is a very different card here, because here we are looking at a victim type card here, aren't we? And so this card is very much about being having, say, inflexible personal beliefs that are limiting your options. And the 8 here is very much about strength, and it's very much about strength from within. So that would be your thoughts and your strategies and your personal beliefs that are, say, required to identify your paths and freedoms, path to freedom. So it's for instance, this is somebody who feels very trapped, who feels very bound by their circumstances, and unable to see a way forward. I mean, that's just all there in the card. And so this card, when it comes up in a reading, is very much about facing the torments of your personal thoughts. And the torments of these thoughts are fueled by fear and self-doubt, and they're creating worst case scenarios that are really, in fairness, unlikely to occur in reality, because often what's in our head is just not true. They're just thoughts. And when we get into that state of mind, we always go for the worst case scenario. So when this card comes up, it's telling you that it's time to look at what you're telling yourself. And what you're telling yourself may not be based on on your present circumstance, but may well be based on your past experiences. And, what's happened in your past can influence what happens in your present, but you want to make what happens in your past be a positive influence and not a negative influence. And when you're looking at things back in the past, you may be making decisions where you're thinking, I have no choice. And but actually, no choice could mean haven't yet found a suitable choice. So this card is very much about looking at your thoughts and examining them, really. And because the 8s lie in the strength that's found in mental ability to find new solutions. And coupled with the inner reserves of strength and determination, 8s can they can describe physical restrictions, but the ability really is about finding new solutions out of that. So this card is suggesting that you need to view your issues from a different perspective to find a solution. So a change of attitude might improve the awareness of opportunities around you. If you change your attitude, then you open your mind and you can see things that you couldn't see before. Whereas circular thinking is very much about limiting your progress, because circular thinking, as you know, it's in the word, it just goes round and round and round. And usually it's the same old crap that's going round and round and round. And this is a time to remember that we are not our thoughts, and our thoughts are just thoughts, and we have control over our thoughts. So this card is very much about is saying, you know, to reassess your assumptions, to identify outdated attitudes and beliefs. What this card is doing is it's challenging you to cut away the fears that bind you. Cut those away and rip away that blindfold. Stand up for what's scaring you and feel your mighty worth. So don't give in to the illusion that you are trapped. Remember how worthy you are and remind yourself that you are worthy, because now is the time for you to turn the tide. And I think it's kind of interesting, these two cards together, because the Queen of Swords is she's this very perceptive person. She is compassionate, but she doesn't, bullshit, and she doesn't accept bullshit. She's not interested in bullshit. So it could very well be, maybe there may be somebody in your life at the moment that has been overly critical or harsh with you. And, this person may well be, it would be interesting for you to question who this person is and how trapped you possibly feel by their criticism. And maybe this person could have a better way of describing, of getting their point across. Maybe maybe they're wrong, but maybe they're not wrong. And so it would be very good for you to open your mind up to what they're saying, kind of maybe not take things so personally, that it's preventing you from going forward. Because what's really crucial to remember here is that you are the one that's in control of your thoughts and your emotions. So this harsh critic could be an aspect of yourself. So it doesn't have to be even somebody on the outside. It could very well be an aspect of yourself. It could be that voice in your shoulder that's saying, buck up, or don't do, or do, or whatever. And, maybe this harsh voice could learn within yourself to be kinder to yourself, to speak more kindly to yourself, to be more forgiving and understanding of yourself. So it doesn't always have to be, as I say, another person. It could be that side of you, that aspect of you. And now we're coming to another aspect of you as well, or somebody that will have some kind of influence on you. And this card is the Page of Pentacles, and this card represents passion that you feel for what really interests you. And it's reminding you that to get better at anything, you must actually work at it and work hard at it. So the Page of Pentacles represents a serious, responsible young person who is prepared to work hard and to study hard to secure a solid income. Because Pentacle people enjoy material comforts, and particularly material comforts that will accord them status. And Pentacle people, they're very earthy, but they're also very spiritual, and they are, I think, the hardest working suit in the tarot deck. They work at a slow pace, and they have the ability to reap their rewards in the long term rather than in the short term. The ones people are much more about short-term gain, short-term gratification, if you like, as well. Whereas Page of Pentacles, they have their eye on the long term. Now, this card is very much, the pages is similar. Pages in the tarot deck, they symbolize ideas of what's to come, and or they're messengers of what's to come. And for the Page of Pentacles, you know, the Page of Pentacles is not a dreamer, because no pentacle is a dreamer. All the pentacles are doers. So this is very much about the process of getting better at something, and to remember that that process of getting better is strewn with mistakes. So errors are your best teachers. And it's really important to remember that when you make a mistake, it's really important to recognize what that mistake is and kind of figure out how you might do things differently. And but whatever it is, you will need to remind yourself what you love about your work or your study. Otherwise, your morale is very likely to stink. No, not stink, sink. And so it could stink too. But if you start comparing yourselves with others, well, that's a perfect recipe for anxiety and apathy and avoidance. So yeah, that's pretty stinky. So remind yourself what it is initially that made you so passionate about what you're working hard to achieve. So when you're a pentacle, as I say, you're not a dreamer, you're a doer. And there's a lot of a promise of abundance in this card, because you're looking at a green tunic here, and the green tunic does represent abundance, and it's abundance that will result from making your ideas a tangible success in the external world. So you've got the idea, and then it's about making it, bringing it into the external world, and they're making a mistake. So, you know, sometimes anxiety about doing things or being perfect at, well, that can cause avoidance of the very things that used to bring you joy. So it's really good to identify what's going on in your life. And the Page of Pentacles is asking you to remember your passion and your excitement. Because for success to take root, the love for your idea must supersede your anxiety about it. And I think I'm going to say that again, because I just think it's really, really important that for success to take root, the love for your idea, it must supersede your anxiety about it. Page of Pentacle ideas are usually brilliant, and they do tend to show great potential for success. So when this card has come up here, it's saying, you know, be open to learning and acquiring new skills. And there is definitely something going on for you that you want to do, and that you're working really hard towards. And maybe you've hit a bit of a block, and you're losing, you're losing confidence. And you're maybe going into avoidance technique, using avoidance techniques. And what you really need to do is you need to balance your intellect with your emotion. And in a way, this is kind of bringing us full circle now to the Queen of Swords, because the Queen of Swords is about balance, and she's cuts through the bullshit to tell you how it is and show you how it is. So honor these aspects of yourself. If they are parts of yourself, this is you, these are aspects here, and this is where you're feeling at the moment. This is what your future could be like, but you need to cut through the bullshit to open up to this. Look at the beautiful colors in here. You know, it's a really nice kind of sandwich, really. So, yeah, I think that's quite a fascinating 3 cards for this week. And I'm going to leave it at that. So, if this reading resonates with you, do leave me a comment below. And you can subscribe to this channel to be notified for the next reading. If you would like to know more, you can book a private reading with me. And you'll find my email address in the description of the video. So, lovely people, I am going to love you and leave you and talk to you again next week.